All right, so a while ago, Apple launched their AirPods Max, a pair of $550 wireless earphones. And the moment they came out with them, one of the first things I thought was like, there's gonna be clones of this thing. There's gonna be replicas and knockoffs of this product because it's so expensive and because it's a desirable brand, right? So I hop onto Alibaba and I take a look around, and there are so many knockoff versions of the AirPods Max. But there's one thing I noticed. There's seemingly two tiers of this product. There's like an expensive $150 clone, and then there's like these $30 or $40 clones that are also very popular. So I ordered one of each, and that's what we have today. In front of you is a $30 knockoff version of the AirPods Max. We also have a $150 version of the AirPods Max. And then, of course, we have the original, a pair of $550 AirPods Max. Now, the first thing I noticed when I got this thing in is that the boxes are so similar. Like, the fake version has the same kind of design, print, like the shape, size, everything. That's easy to do. But they have this, it's embossed. It's raised, and it's like they put so much effort into this packaging. It almost feels like the guys that made the original, like the company that made the original packaging, also made the fake one. Even the back of it, like, unless you were looking for differences, you could not tell them apart. Like, you would think very convincingly that this was a real version of the AirPods Max. The one thing I would say that is noticeable to the eye is that the fake version has like this warmer color to it. It's like a orangey red version, whereas this is like a more natural color. But that's it. And this one, in case you're curious, the $30 version, this didn't have any packaging. This was in a plastic bag. It didn't even come with a charging cable, but we'll come back to this in a minute. Let's take a look at the inside of these. So I haven't even listened to these things. I have no idea what they sound like or anything like that. Okay, now inside, the similarities just keep coming. So with the $150 fake, you get, oh my gosh, even the pamphlet, they're not exactly the same, I don't think. But, well, the USB-C cable or the lightning cable doesn't come wrapped up like the real one, but it's convincing. I'm curious to see about the pamphlets though, because if they nail the paperwork as well, I don't even know which one was the real one. Okay, let's just assume that I didn't screw it up. But, so that's, oh my gosh. Dude, look at this. Okay, I'm not gonna go through every page. Or maybe I should. Oh my God. Okay, at this point, you know what's running through my mind? It feels like they didn't make this product just for the sake of offering a cheaper version to people. It almost feels like there's like malicious intent here. Like for people to scam people and pretend like it's the real one. It's the same quality of paper, the same like quality of print. This is nuts. Okay. I don't even know which one's which at this point. It doesn't matter. Let's get to the actual products. All right. Fake one, real one. The only reason why I know this at this point is because of the color. I know that the real one is more of like a gray color. It's like a space gray product, space gray packaging. This is definitely like a black. It's clearly black. Also magnetic, like the carrying case. Yeah, maybe the magnet's not as strong, but jeez. We're looking at very minor differences between these two at this point. But I'm just curious about the back. Convincing, believable. Yeah, dude, at this point, this wasn't meant to serve a market of, you know, people that want a cheaper version. This honestly feels like they're trying to scam people. Like, imagine someone that's trying to sell a secondhand or a used or whatever, right? An AirPod Max, but they're selling you these knockoff ones instead of a real one. You would have a tough time telling them apart. This one, the real one, metal, right? It's got the aluminum cups. I may have reviewed this product before. I'm just familiarizing myself again because we're gonna go into the realm of fakes in a second. Okay, I remember how this feels. This is a little bit lighter on the fake. It's not metal. It's got weight to it. It's got, I don't know if they're like stacking lead on the inside of this thing or something, but it's heavier than you'd expect for a plastic device. But this is, I'm pretty sure this is plastic. Like the aluminum, it's got, yeah. This is plastic, but it's heavy. But the rubber, like the silicone, it's convincing. The mesh, it feels like, I mean, let me side by side. Okay, the real one is a firmer mesh. It looks like the knit is a little bit denser. The fake one, it's a softer push. But just to show you real quick, the $30 one, and this is plastic, like straight up, super plastic, very, very cheap feeling. And it's squeaky, dude. And it's like creaky. Oh my God, the hinge, it's not even a hinge, man. This is like, what is this? Okay, this is, in comparison to the other two, it's by far the cheapest, but it's very junky. But aesthetically, it's got the look, right? I mean, for a fake, for a knockoff, it's done a very good job of being convincing aesthetically. Now, in terms of comfort, so let's see this. I'm curious. This is the real one. I'm familiar with this. They're heavy, but they're comfortable. For the weight, they do a really good job of making these fit nicely. Okay, these are heavy. For plastic, the hinge is definitely, it's stiff, but it gets the job done. Okay, they're not as comfortable. There's a degree of like compression against my skull. I imagine over the course of an extended wear, that would be uncomfortable. Now the cheap ones, the $30 ones, okay, these are garbage. They don't eat, like there's absolutely no isolation in terms of sound, and I just feel like they're bad. They're not spongy enough, like they're not comfortable, but again, for the look, if you're just going for the look, I'd say they're convincing enough, aside from that squeak. All right, I want to hear how they sound. So let's pair them up and let's get the audio test going. All right, so it's been a while since I've used this thing. I think the last video I did with them was like 4 years ago, but this will be a decent representation of what's going on here. So I normally don't use these in my videos because they're not accurate. They're not a proper representation of what the user actually hears, but it's all we got, and this is the closest thing we'll be able to do for the purposes of today's video. All right. So those do not sound great. The audio quality is very mediocre. I mean, for $30 and plastic headphones, I feel like that's what I would expect, but they certainly don't sound anything like AirPods Maxes. One thing I did notice, they do not have any kind of active noise cancellation like the real ones. I was messing around the software, turning it on and off. It seemed to have no effect on the actual noise cancellation. But that's what you expect for that kind of price. Now, I am more hopeful for this, the $150 pair, because these are, I mean, they got the, oh wait. Is this the real one? Dude, it does the pop-up. Like the real ones have the pop-up. When it's a real Apple product pairing with the Apple phone, it'll do this thing, but they must have like a fake chip in here. Like a chip in this knockoff version. Let me just double check to be 100% sure here. Yeah, this is the real one. It's got, oh my gosh, it even has the animation, everything. This, like the phone thinks that this is a real pair of AirPods Maxes. Wow. Okay, and it's called the Pro Max, not an AirPod Max. All right, let's hear how this sounds. So those sound okay. I don't feel like they're worth the $150. Like if I was buying these and this was the sound quality I got for this kind of price point, I'd be very disappointed. Clearly you're buying it for the aesthetics and the fact that they've ripped off Apple, but in terms of sound quality, passable, but certainly not worth $150. I did test the active noise cancellation on this one. It does work, but it is very weak to the point where it's actually very difficult to even demonstrate its abilities. So it exists, but pretend like it doesn't because it's extraordinarily weak. Okay, just to close this off, I want you guys to hear the real ones because these sound obviously the best of the bunch. So that's the AirPods Max and a couple of its clones. I feel like there's a couple takeaways for me here. The first is that if you're gonna buy a pair of AirPods Max, I would be very cautious purchasing it from anything else like other than a reputable store because it is so easy to be duped with these counterfeit products. It's strange how good they are in terms of how accurate the replicas are. The other thing though for me is that I don't like seeing this stuff. I feel like, the reason why these things even exist is that the manufacturers are trying to trick people into thinking that it's the real one, right? Whether it's for malicious purposes or just like, for a status thing, it feels so, bleh. I don't like it. And clearly these things are nothing like the real ones. They don't sound like it. They're like the quality's not there. It's not an Apple product. But there you have it. The clones. All right, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thumbs if you liked it, subs if you loved it. I'll see you guys next time.